Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fat Cat Tech. Today, we are unboxing a Sony HandyCam HDR-CX7. So, as you can see, I've already found my own creative way of getting the box open, and it's now time to finish the job. This is not new in box, so it's going to be missing a few accessories, but the camera is still here. As you can see, we start out with the camera case, or the bag actually, no, well, same thing. So let's go ahead and see what's inside, if there's anything inside. Let's see what's inside this pouch. We got a bunch of cards, more commonly known as the Memory Stick Pro Duo for cards, and it's got a bunch of regular Memory Stick Pro Duos. This one's a 4 GB, that one's a 2 GB, and that one's another 4 GB. So we've got some memory cards and some adapters. On the side pocket here, we can see we have the battery, Sony NP-FH70. As you can see, the one on top is 6.8 volts at 12.2 WH. Gonna have to look up what that means. Hopefully it came charged. On the other side here, we can see we have another battery, and this one is the Sony NP-FH60. But the bottom one is 7.2. It's 7.2 WH. Hey! Shut up! And now for the camcorder itself. Also the charger, actually. I'm pretty sure this is the same charger that my HandyCam that I'm using right now takes. This camera also comes with its own remote control, where you can do things, you can control things like the recording, the zoom, you can pause, play, scan, all that stuff. One thing I could see you can't do from the remote is turn on night shot, which isn't a bad thing, but I don't know. But that's the remote control, and it says RMT-835. So here it is. Here's the camcorder. As you can see, it is small and fat. The reason I bought this is because if you look inside, you can see it has night shot on it, which is something I've been trying to get my hands on for a very long time. So let's go ahead and put in our better battery here, and let's go ahead and give it a little test run. Here it is. Here's the Sony HandyCam, and it's begging me to put in one of the memory sticks, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here we can see there's our memory stick, and then you just, oh, it was upside down. And then you just put it right in. Dang it. There we go. Now it says memory stick access. That was signaling that the door was open, and we're ready to record. One thing I forgot to mention is that this camera actually has a docking station for, you can see that port on the bottom that just goes into here. It gives you options like for charging, AV out, component out, and a USB, which is really cool. I'm going to turn the camera on using the slider here, and I'm now going to show you the different menu settings. So to get to the menu, you just press the home button up there, and then you can see you have different options for movie, photo, and slow motion recording, and you know, photo mode, just your basic picture taking, and for slow motion, I'm not actually sure how slow it goes. I do know that it does make the picture a lot darker, obviously, because if you want your videos to be in slower motion, you need better light. In here, you could see you have your different, you can see your images and everything right there. in here we have our options for videos and pictures. As you can see, it gives you the option to actually print your picture, which is something that you don't really see nowadays. You can connect it to your computer or TV. You can manage your memory stick, format it, repair your database file, or get some info. And I am currently using a Memory Stick Pro Duo. And then in this part you could see you have all your different settings. For movie settings, you could set your recording. You set it to be AVC HD, AVC HD 9 megabits per second, 7 megabits per second, or 5 megabits per second. You can have your night shot light set to be on when you turn on night shot, and that's the infrared LED, like so. Or you could set it to be off. You could see the difference there. Digital zoom, you could turn that on. It brings it up from 10 times to 20 times. So usually for newer cameras like the one I'm recording with right now, it's a lot more. So typically you're probably not going to use it all that much, but for a camera like this where it only brings it up to 20 times, you may want to turn it on because you might need it. Steady shot, just your basic steady shot, you know, keep the camera from shaking too much and all that stuff. Auto slow shutter is pretty useful too. Just have that on. Color, records in a wider color gamut using X and V color. I have no idea what this means, but it could be useful. I guess I should have looked that up. Guide frame, you know, your typical grid on your screen. And then zebra. Zebra, I'm not actually sure what zebra does, to be honest. I know I don't see it on Sony cameras these days, and I certainly never heard of it in a Sony camera before I bought this one. You could turn on the remaining movie capacity too, which is nice convenience feature. And you could set your flash level, which, hi kitty, you're probably not going to be using this camera for taking pictures. You know, you'll probably get like a digital camera for that. Red eye detection, and you can set your index. Photo settings, you just get your normal everyday photo settings, image size, quality, pretty much the same stuff as the movie setting. Sound and display set, you can have your volume for playback, your LCD brightness, your LCD color. Hey there kitty, welcome back. You can set your beep to be on or off. I like to keep it off. And your LCD backlight, you can set it on bright or normal. I put it on normal, save the battery. And your viewing of images settings, index, date code, display, how many images you want, and your interval. So those might be useful to you. Your output, you know, you get your basic TV types for 16:9 and 4:3. And then you could set it between your LCD panel and your both camera and a TV. And then your component cable, you can have it set to be 1080i or 480i. Clock and language, general settings, just your basic, you know, recording lamp, turning the recording lamp on or off. Calibrate the touchscreen, your remote control settings, which I will be testing later in this video. And then demo mode, which basically makes all the buttons bigger from what I've seen. And that's just your basic settings. And then right down here you can get to your camera settings here, and this offers a few other settings as well. You know, your focus, spot focus, telemacro, which subject is highlighted in the background is blurred even though it zooms all the way in. Exposure, spot meter, scene selection. You got your basic scene selection, of course. White balance, color slow shutter, which basically just slows down the frame rate and shutter speed so that you can get better low light recording. And then super night shot, which is just the same thing as color slow shutter, but it's with night shot. Fader, digital effect, which is just, it gives you an old-timey camera thing. And then your picture effect, and then you get your recording qualities, recording mode, and your mic ref level. One thing with the footage that I noticed is that the microphone, which is supposedly a 5.1 channel surround sound, is that it seemed to have a weird bias towards the right. I don't know if it was where I was standing or what, but it was. You're not going to notice it in the recording because I corrected it in post, but I don't know. I don't know if that was some kind of problem with this model or not. As you can see on the LCD screen, it gives options for the home button, zoom controls. These actually zoom a lot slower than the lever, so you can get much finer controls there, and you get an extra recording button. On the side here you get some different buttons such as night shot, easy mode, playback, whatever that means. You can turn off the display and the battery information, and then you get your backlight, which basically brightens the picture very, very slightly. As in, like, it doesn't do anything at all. So now that I've gone over the camera, I'm going to show you some test footage that I got with this camcorder. As you can see, this camera does record in 60 frames per second in 5.1 channel surround sound. And it's a very nice, sharp picture from what I can see. But the real reason I got this is so that I could test the night shot. So that's what I'm gonna do. As you can see, it is now pitch black. Can't see a single thing, and now I'm gonna flip night shot on. And there it is. I'm actually gonna go in here and do it. That is really cool. I can't see a thing, and now we have infrared light. That's so cool. Let's see. Fire alarm. Turns the red to be a very strange color. You can barely see the lettering on it. And there's the control panel. You can see all those computers down there. They're completely dark. Can't see a thing. Now they're clear. Here I am in my dusty old basement with no more light from the windows or the doors. There's my cat. And here you can see night shot on. Provides a better picture. Much better. You can see very well. And it zooms really fast, which is something I like. Here's a test of the 10 times optical zoom. As you can see, it goes all the way out there. And you can see it offers very fine, smooth recording. And this is also a good demonstration of the steady shot. Here's a test of the digital zoom, which brings it from 10 times up to 20 times. So you can see it goes in a lot further. You can see a lot closer. And it doesn't really bring the quality down all that much, which is nice. Here's the digital zoom going in and out. Basically what color slow shutter does is it makes the video a lot more muddy. Or maybe, I don't know if muddy is the right word, but It makes a lot more... It makes the frame rate go down a lot. Unless you're pointing it directly at a light bulb. But I guess that's for recording in low light, which you don't need that because the camera has night shot on it anyway. Speaking of night shot, you saw I demonstrated it earlier, but I'm now going to demonstrate super night shot. So here's night shot on the camera, and then here is super night shot, which is nice if you're standing still, but the moment you turn it's so blurry you're not even going to be able to see anything. So I prefer to leave that off. And then here's what that backlight button does. You can see it does nothing. Like, I'm seriously pressing it. Backlight button. On. Off. On. And off. You can't. There's nothing. Nothing there. Nothing. Nothing at all. This is the old movie digital effect, which basically lowers the frame rate and puts a sepia filter on it. So, not that great for video recording purposes, but I guess it's always nice to have the option for it. And I have this flashlight here. I'll test out night shot with this flashlight. You can see that does help a lot. See, there's without it. There's with. It'll probably help with the focus. Yeah. And here's a test of the camcorder's remote control. As you can see. So, I'm going to test out the zoom. And, okay, so I'm pressing the zoom button. And it's not doing anything. As you can see, it has a Sony battery in it. So this remote control should be working. But it's not. Unless there's something I'm doing wrong. Well, yeah, this remote, I don't know if the battery's dead, but it's not doing anything. It does zoom very fast, as you can see. But you can zoom slower with these buttons on the LCD. For more precise zooming. One feature that's nice about it is the lens shutter that comes with it, is that it opens and closes on its own, so you don't have to forget or remember to do so. And this camera also does come with a shoe mount for your various shoe needs. So I'm probably going to be getting an infrared light for this thing so that I can improve the already awesome night shot on it. That is the Sony HandyCam HDR-CX7. So I hope this may have swayed your decision to get one at some point, because these are good cameras. I tell you what, it did fall off my tripod onto the floor while I was recording this, and it still works, so durable. You can find these on eBay for about $125 plus shipping, or a little bit less, but the thing is there's not that many, so get them while you can. And the price does go up a lot. Big value. Yeah, right.